All right, chat. We're gonna do Zath chat now. This is where we talk a little bit about the game, about what's going on, and things that I can help you guys with. So there's two chats that we have set aside, and if we get time, we can do a third. The two that I have prepped for you guys, one of them is recommended ships for ranked silver, and then the other one is what you should do with your research points. Okay, so let's start by talking about ranked silver. And the one that killed you, I killed. The other two that you damaged. Right, yes, exactly. Um, Alright, so for those of you guys that are playing ranked battles, um, I'm sure that there's some maybe some frustration in playing through, and it's always a good idea to think about what ships you want to take into ranked. And I'm gonna start maybe let me start with destroyers, because in my opinion, destroyers are what's gonna win the game. If you're gonna play ranked battles to win, then my recommendation is to go destroyer. Now, Akizuki is one of my all-time favorite destroyers. Super easy, hold down left mouse button. You penetrate just about everything with your HE shells. You got decent torpedoes, you got smoke, you know, all that good stuff. Did I just hear a pudding click? I did hear a pudding click.
Probably.
And by the way, everybody, you're always welcome to jump into the Discord when we do a Zath chat, or if you've got questions or comments, put them in the chat as well. I do this together, all right, with everybody. This isn't just me talking to you and lecturing you. I don't want it to be that way. I want you to feel like you can be engaged in the moment as well. So, Akizuki is a good ship. Kiev is my favorite ship in World of Warships, so for me, this is a top pick. But for me personally, if you're not good in the Kiev, don't play it. Lo Yang is fantastic in ranked because it's got the Hydro, and that Hydro allows you to lock down a cap. A lot of players have no idea how to play around Hydro. They get spotted, they freak out, they sit there, and they just take all the damage. 5.5 kilometer Hydro connected with your smoke is really nice. You only have 4 turrets instead of 5 like a Benson, but you're able to take a cap and you're able to lock it down and keep destroyers at bay, which really does help you win games. You can also, I used this myself in ranked. I had a destroyer that was smoked up. I just went right up to him, hydroed him, pow pow pow, dead. Another Lo Yang appeared, tried to attack me, but he smoked in range of my hydro, so I just pow pow powed him again and he died, with the help of a fellow cruiser that was following me, and thanks to that cruiser for following. So Lo Yang, good pick. Kid. Duckman and I were talking about the Kid before. Not a bad pick for ranked. It doesn't have Hydro, but you can slot in defensive anti-air for those pesky carriers. And you can also use the heal, which is quite nice. Dutch, thank you very much for the sub, dude. Harkaze.
Eagle and Flyer just resubscribed for 16 months. 16 months of classes and cat betting. I hope more will follow.
There we go. Thank you very much, Dutch. The Hydro is very useful on Harkaze too, but I believe, well, the original Harkaze is it an 8? I can't remember anymore. Z35 also has a Hydro, but no. I don't like the Z. I don't think it's that useful. It's got short duration smoke, which is okay. Our original Harkaze is tier 8. Okay. Fen Yang is another one that's kind of weird. It's got a lot of stuff. If I remember right, this is the one that looks like the Akizuki, but Pan-Asian, yep. And it's just not as good. You have to be good at firing AP all the time. I wouldn't do it. Orkan is very handy. It's got radar, which helps quite a bit in your encounters, so that's good. Cossack is a solid pick. I've seen a lot of people do really well with Cossack. It's got extremely good concealment. It's got the Hydro. It's got smoke, although it's short duration, which is kind of handy against carriers. It's got just about everything you'd want for bullying caps and stuff. Fishrock says, I had the hardest time trying to get Akizuki to work. Even after coaching, it seemed just a step too... It is slow, so you have to think of it as whatever you come across, you're going to win in a gunfight. Plain and simple. If you lose in the gunfight, well, you're probably dead. Panther, we're talking about ships and picks for ranked battles at Tier 8, which is obviously Silver League. Benson is okay. I've seen people do alright in Benson. It's got the American smoke, but I honestly think anything with a Hydro is very important in ranked. So,
Wizard27_1979 is now following.
Thank you for the follow. So the Z23 is a good one. Marker, again, it doesn't have the Hydro. If you've got a heal, that's nice too. Here's a Hydro with the lightning. It's a short range Hydro, but it protects you from taking random torpedoes at least, so that's handy. Le Fantasque is very much like a Kiev. If you like that playstyle, getting on the flanks and stuff, you can be okay, but you're not going to win so much because you're not going to be in the caps, and ranked battles, it's all about winning the caps most of the time, at least in my opinion. Oland, it's got anti-air. I wouldn't care about it. It's got a heal too, I guess. Sassy Ho, I played around with it in ranked. There's a lot of battleships in ranked battle, so your ultra deep torpedoes can hit. That's okay. It's got good concealment. You can go into caps and stuff like that. Le Turbo is like Le Fantasque. Kagero is like Kasashio, similar idea. Fishrock says, Happa killed me in your Z23 once because I forgot you had Hydra. Oof. There's the Sasha Black, same thing. Here's the original Harukaze. If you're going to pick the Harukaze, make sure you run with the 100mm guns. That basically turns it into like a miniature Akizuki. It does have the ability to run smoke or torpedo reload booster. In ranked, if you're running in a carrier, smoke is going to be more valuable, in my opinion, at least. Let's see. Asherling Yukikaze. No, this thing is ridiculous. It's got 8-kilometer torpedoes, F3 torpedoes. I mean, you can sneak up to people and try to assassinate them, but, radar's a thing. So it just, I don't think it matters. Plus carriers. Ognivoy, yeah. It's got consumables, but yeah. There's our Cossack. Xian Yang has short duration smoke, or you can put it in radar. I know Puddin likes radar, but no.
The entire line radar.
And then you've got this silly Wangi, which has Hydro. I think it's 5.5, just like the Lo Yang. It's got deep water torpedoes, and it's got smoke. Silly Wangi wouldn't be too bad of a pick if you don't have a Lo Yang, or if you've got a Lo Yang and you want to play another ship. So there you go. Anybody have any questions or comments about the destroyers? Top 3, Panther says Lightning, Akizuki, and Kid. I wouldn't disagree with you there. Those are good picks. It always comes down to what you care about the most, right? And how you play. People do forget about Silly Wangi Hydro, yes. And then bad things happen. Now, I'm going to say something that might be controversial. Kid, it's got smoke and it's got a heal. The thing about Kid is it's a gunboat that can heal and can smoke, and it occasionally has torpedoes. You don't play it as a torpedo boat, at least in my opinion. If you're dealing with carriers a lot in ranks, especially, you want to run defensive fire instead of engine boost. Now, I'm going to say something that might be a little, you might disagree with in ranked personally. But the thing to understand about ranked right now is that submarines exist. So for cruisers and battleships, I would highly recommend you prioritize ships that have anti-sub warfare and play those as well. Because if you think about it, why would you take a ship out and then not be able to counter one of those other ships, one of the enemy ships? That doesn't make any sense. I've done that. It's extremely frustrating to take a battleship that doesn't have anti-sub or a cruiser that doesn't have anti-sub and not being able to do it. So Congress is therefore not the best pick. It's got radar and hydro, which is useful because, again, people don't know how to play around both of those. So Congress is okay for that, but it doesn't have depth charges, so there's that. CVs don't have anti-sub. Well, CVs have the one ability to spot subs, from BS. But anyways, so I'm flipping through here. You can kind of see ships that, I haven't seen depth charges. Oh, Prince Eugen! Look at that! Prince Eugen has depth charges, and it's got a heal, and it's got hydro, and it's also got a fighter. I mean, what more could you ask for with the Prince Eugen?
And it's
So,
got the coolest camo in the game.
oh yeah, you're talking about
The
the
Eagle.
yeah. As soon as this thing pops up, do I have it? Yeah, the Adler. There you go, right there. Right? Which gives you some added bonuses as well, extra 10% credits or whatnot. But in any case, so Prince Eugen is my first pick right there as a good ship that you can go with. Now, notice the Otago does not have anti-sub. So if it doesn't have anti-sub, I don't think it's that good. I mean, it's got hydro, and a lot of people, or you can slot in hydro here. It's got the heal. A lot of people like using it as a flanking ship with the HE or the AP, but again, you can't deal with subs. So I have the Congress, but I don't like it. Guns are pretty bad. Yeah. Duckman, since when did CVs have anti-sub warfare in real life? Actually, believe it or not, we won the Battle of the Atlantic because of carriers. We built a whole ton of light aircraft carriers, CVE, CVL, so CV Light and CV Escort, and they were involved in patrolling around the convoys that went from North America to the UK and back, and also the ones that went up to Russia. And we found that carriers were extremely effective at spotting subs on the surface. Yeah, and then they typically had depth charges on the planes, and they would go and drop depth charges. Yep, exactly, Alan Cat. Yes. Kutuzov, no smoke and or no anti-sub, and it's got a pretty high smoke fire penalty. So bleh. Belfast 43, it's got anti-sub warfare, but I would still say it's bleh because it's the Belfast 43. I wouldn't play it. Harlem. If you're grinding the line, sure. And by the way, ranked battles, guys, if you're grinding lines, by all means. Div 7 Prevention. This ship is the one I fell in love with because I got to announce it. And it's got depth charges, and it's got airstrike, and it's also got a heal. So you could play with the Prevention. Why not? And the Mines, somebody earlier in chat said the Mines is a good pick. It's got depth charges. It's got hydro. It doesn't have a heal like the Eugen, but I would pick the Eugen over the Mine simply because of the heal. I wouldn't pick a cruiser on the ASW category. A sub only catch by a cruiser if he is dumb. I disagree with that, Panther. Simply because I found several cases where I've seen cruisers charge at subs in ranked, and I mean, yeah, especially cruisers that don't have anti-sub. And to me, it's like, why not have that little extra thing to you? Hipper, you can see, but again, Prince Eugen with the heal, better, but you could take the Hipper, I guess. So personally, I just want to bring in every tool I can to deal with everything that I might run into. That's how I look at cruisers. Cruisers are supposed to be kind of like the jack of all trades that can handle everything. And you can see I'm still scrolling through, and I'm still not seeing that much else with anti-sub. So you can pick a radar cruiser and focus on destroyers and focus on everybody else, but when it comes down to it, I often find that when it's down to one or two ships left, I don't want to be dependent on that sub having running out of battery reserves or whatever and being forced to surface in order to kill it. You know what I mean? I want to be able to go over there and just wipe it out. Chapayev has depth charges as well, and of course it's got the radar. You can put hydro in. I would say Chapayev is a really good pick because of the radar alone, and then you add the added benefit of depth charges. Don't take a Talon. Ochakov. Don't take an Ochakov. I don't. It's got depth charges, but no. I mean, it's. This is the one that's the Hipper hull, right? Yeah. I don't. I wouldn't take an Ochakov personally. It's got the radar and hydro, I guess, but yeah. P-bag, heal, good. Depth charges, good. Hydro, good. And it's got 180 millimeter guns. So the P-Bag is really good at killing other cruisers because of those 180 millimeter guns. It's also good at killing destroyers with those with HE. These things are like railguns. So I would say P-Bag's pretty good. How come Mulkey didn't come with the permanent camo like every other premium ship? I have no idea, Fish. And maybe that's coming in a future event or whatever, right? Because yes,
that ship isn't a early access ship right now.
right,
So
right. Moltke is early access, I guess you could say, because the German battleships are still going through testing. So
yeah, probably we'll get a camo when the event officially starts.
that's my guess too. Edinburgh. I don't think you can go too wrong with Edinburgh. She's a skilled cannon. You have to really know what you're doing to make it work. But, you know, it's not bad. You can pick radar, or you can also pick planes. But I would either do smoke or radar. If you're gonna play this ship, go radar. Always go radar. This is generally a good idea for killing destroyers and stuff like that. Yeah, they're glass cannons, but they're fun, right? Cheshire does not have, so we don't care. Tiger 59, please no. Just stay away from that ship. Amalfi. Depth charges. Really good against destroyers. It's got the fuel smoke. Sap is ridiculous. Takashika Nishiro, 85. Hello, how are you? Irian? Nah. Wukong clan ain't nothing to F with. Don't take it into rank. So you could see there, and you can always go back and pick out, write down the ships that you can see. But quite frankly, I would just take something that's got anti-sub. And out of that whole list, I would say Chapayev sticks out in my mind, and the Prince Eugen sticks out in my mind. So those are the two that personally I would go for. Prevention if you just like being shot at and trying to be shot back. I don't know. Edinburgh could be fun, but there you go. Rob, thanks for the raid or the host or whatever it is that happened. No worries, my dude. Alright, next up is our battleships. And guess what? I'm going to say the same thing to you guys about the damn battleships. It has to have anti-sub warfare to make it worthwhile. Especially because at the battleships, the airstrike is the best anti-sub warfare method in this game right now. Nothing beats playing a battleship, seeing a sub, and literally pointing and clicking on an area and watching the planes go down and depth charge them. And there's absolutely no counterplay for the subs. Does that sound familiar, anybody? Jesus. So I would say abuse that right now, right? Play battleships that have depth charge airstrikes. Oh my god, and get used to them. If you are playing a battleship that does not have a depth charge airstrike and you're running into a sub, you're part of the problem, frankly. So as a result, unfortunately, that means the Massachusetts is not a good pick for this season of Ranked. Yes, she's comfortable with the secondaries. Yes, she's fun and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? You can easily take an Alabama, spec it up for secondaries like I did there. You saw the chat earlier between me and I think that was Major Pain. And I mean, we did that. It's good. So I wouldn't pick Massachusetts. I'd pick the Alabama between those two ships. Tirpitz, nope. Borodino, LOL, nope. Lenin, nope. Bismarck, nope. Odin, nope. You see the pattern here. Now Constellation's interesting because it loses so much, right? There's so much that damages the ship. But it's got the radar. It's got is it 10 kilometer, 9.2 kilometer torpedoes. It's got the radar, and it's got that. So I mean, you can play with the Constellation. It could be kind of fun. North Carolina, of course, has the depth charge as well, so that's good. Veneto, nope. Vladivostok, nope. Amagi. Now the Japanese have these as well, and the Japanese is interesting because the number of bombs and payload is kind of a balancing factor for some odd reason, the Japanese seem to have more depth charges, or more effective depth charges than others. So you can play the Amagi. The problem with the Amagi is you're typically so far back, you're not going to be really up close and personal. Same thing with the Ki. And then the Ragnarok and Igneous, of course, have their Amagi clones, so the same thing there. Kansas. The problem with Kansas is it's so damn slow, but you can do it. There's our Bama, Monarch. Monarch has it. Vanguard has it. I never liked Vanguard, but if you like Vanguard, there you go. Richelieu is French, so it should have it. There it is. Richelieu is a relatively comfortable battleship to play in ranked, because all you have to do is point your bow at the enemy, and a lot of times people in ranked, even if there's like 3 battleships, they'll clump them all together in one place. So if you're playing Richelieu, you just point the bow at them and just keep spamming them, and it's kind of funny. Of course, they'll pen you and do some damage, but it won't be too much. Gascon, please no. It's got the 2 turret setup like the Republique, and it's harder to play. You have to be really good at French battleships to use the Gascon effectively. Champagne is the same thing. Now, there is one thing that Champagne has going for it, okay? And that's his 406 main battery. These things are snipers. When you combine that with spotting aircraft, if you get into a game and there's a carrier and there's a sub, you're set, right? You've got the depth charge airstrike for the subs, and if you're in a game with a carrier, you ask your friendly carrier to spot the enemy carrier right away. Most carrier players don't move their carriers at the start of the game. So you ask the carrier to spot. If he says okay, then you pop your spotting aircraft, load the AP, look at the direction of his planes, track them. As soon as he spots the carrier, bam, you just obliterate it. You might not kill it right off the bat with one hit, but you'll at least force that carrier to go extremely defensive and worry more about surviving and less about damaging your team. So Champagne is, if you're good at that ship, it's doable. It's definitely doable. Flandre has depth charges. It's got repair party, and it's a very fast ship too. It's basically a tier 6 Alsace or 8 Alsace. What's there not to love about that? Roma and Littorio, nope and nope. All right. Any comments? Amagi is a good boat, says Duckman. It is. That's a fun ship. It's just a lot of people play it too far away, and as a result, they don't have the kind of impact that you'd want them to have. Any other commentary about the battleships in ranked? Seeing none, we're going to move into carriers. Oh my god, there's so much to talk about carriers. Not really. Boom shakalaka. Carriers, you want to take carriers that are going to be able to damage destroyers and hunt destroyers and all that kind of stuff, in my opinion. Lenin doesn't have depth charges, Rob, so no. She's a comfortable battleship to play, but against submarines going to win. So, you know, I want to play a battleship that can compete against subs. So, Boom Shakalaka, in my opinion, is a really good one. It's got ridiculous dive bombs on destroyers, and it's got skip bombs that can hit destroyers, anything else for that matter, and it's got torpedoes as well. So, Boom Shakalaka, I've seen a lot of these in ranked, and for good reason. Other ones that are good anti-destroyer. I need to play around with the Indomitable's rockets more. Indomitable's good anti-battleship, but that's about it. Zeppelin, no. Enterprise, sadly, no. Parseval, the problem with the Parseval is it's got the AP rockets, which I know you can do against destroyers. They're good against cruisers, but what cruisers do you find now? You know, you've got the AP bombs for battleships, I suppose. Kaga is always going to be a comfortable pick because of the unlimited reserves of planes, essentially. So you can torpedo the crap out of people. Battleships, cruisers, destroyers, whatever you want. Just throw your torpedo bombers at them. So that can work. World's largest cigarette boat. Love my Kagas' battery.
I was gonna say, you really sold me on the Parseval there.
What the hell was the last one? Parseval. This is the special camo from the collaboration, whatever the anime thing was called. I can't remember what it was, and unfortunately people were not so happy with wargaming, and we just kind of passed on on covering it, but you know, there it is. Kind of fun. Yeah, if you're into anime and stuff, it's exciting. But all right, Lexington. Lexington is always a decent pick. The HE bombers are pretty fun. It's got the rockets that are okay, and then of course it's got this guy on the deck playing around and scoring goals. That's Oven Chicken. But you know, Lexington. I love Lexington personally, so I would say she's a pretty good pick for carrier. Shokaku. I've seen Shokakus do you know things. Sure, okay, but I don't know. Saipan, please no. Shanzang, even more, please no. And Implacable, I don't. Yeah, Legends of the Galactic Empire. Thank you. Implacable, I never liked these British carriers, so, but that's just me personal opinion. Obviously, if you've got a different opinion, then just you know you don't have to listen to what I'm saying. All right. And that leaves us with subs. At tier 8, you've got the 7, you've got the U-190. Generally speaking, I feel like the American subs are a little bit better than the German simply because the torpedoes are faster and reach farther. Yeah, and I like the consumable that the Americans have with the faster ability to dive and maneuver than, you know, whatever. Hey, Kidney Cowboy. Fish Rocks F Saipan is my biggest wildest regret. Yeah, and maybe at some time they'll buff it. Who knows? So, I know the Germans, their big thing is they've got the extra battery time. Personally, I haven't experienced a game playing a sub where I was detected and then managed to get away. Battery wasn't my problem. So, but I'm still kind of new to this. I will say this though, please don't play a sub. Oh, that's right. There's a Saipan Black coming out. There you go. If you're thinking about buying it for ranked, don't do that. Yeah, Fish Rock, right. Tier 10 planes on a Tier 8 carrier. It doesn't work on the American carrier, but for some odd reason it works on the Russian. So,
Giveaway is up, by the way.
Giveaway is up. All right. Any last questions you would like to ask about in regards to ranked battles and prep for ranked, even ships? Any specific ships you want me to talk about? Anything you disagree with? Please, by all means, say it. I am just one player, just like the rest of you. Chromo with the flex. Queen Elizabeth at 6. I mean, Queen Elizabeth has anti-sub, if I remember right. She's British, so she should have anti-sub. Nothing wrong with the Queen Elizabeth. Warspite also, if I remember right, has it. Come on, game. Yeah. Both are good picks. You'd love it. I don't see why not. Good ship. If you got a Warspite, that's a good pick too. Yeah, and Battery, you're stating exactly what I've always talked about when it comes to ranked battles. You pick the ship that works best for you. And if you jive with a particular ship, then play the hell out of it. If it's not the meta ship, you know, who cares? One of my favorite experiences was playing the Kiev at Tier 7 ranked. Way back when ranked was a full ranked. It wasn't a sprint like this. It was a full season. And there would be people on my team that would be like, why the hell are you playing that terrible ship? And I'm like, what are you talking about, the terrible ship? And they go, oh, well, insert streamer here, which we've all heard of, says it's a crap ship and you shouldn't take it into ranked. Okay. Proceed to come in MVP, proceed to rank out faster than I'd ever ranked out before. You want to tell me that ship's crappy? No, it's because I know that ship, I learned that ship, it worked very well with me in my hands, and I could do things that most other players can't do with it. So I played the hell out of it. Magic hands, damn it, that's right. You ground up bronze in a Dunkirk, and a lot of people hate that ship. I love it. Well, there you go, Liam, exactly. It's got anti-sub warfare, so that helps too. Alright, shall we move on? Let's move on. You do bronze for the Burioni? It was a good sprint. Yeah. I remember you were doing that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to Stream Raiders. We're gonna, I guess, hasten everybody again. There we go. We're gonna run an ad for pre-roll, and then we're gonna do our next Zath chat, which is about the Research Bureau, what to do with the points you make from those. So stick around for that. I'm looking forward to that one, actually. Here we go. Duckman has a shiny new Warspite. She hunts for uncharted shoals. Warspite's a good ship. Good, Stevie's in his bed.
You know, Zath, with all the stuff I'm giving him tomorrow or on Tuesday, maybe I should buy myself a new ship too, huh?
I mean, if you want to, and that's a good segue to make sure you guys all check out Sith Kitten, because she's got a birthday celebration stream on Tuesday, right?
Yep.
What time on Tuesday?
10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right, there you go. So make sure that you check that out. She's giving away, what, like 3 tier 8 ships, I think you said?
4.
4.
Did you say AM?
Yeah.
Well, 10 a.m. Pacific is noon our time, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's still AM.
Fair enough. All right, let's see what we get here. Skyring gets some gold. Skyring wins, and Sith Kitten.
Okay, stop with the civilization stuff. Oh my god. A civilized continent time. Sorry, I saw civilization and I'm like,
There you go. Let's get into our next battle here. I'll have my goalie archer.
Your goalie archer?
Goalie archer. All right, guys.
You guys, it's so sad looking. Show your Stream Raiders again.
Okay.
Guys,
Why?
so Lord Zath has only sold one.
Faker
One of his flag
1969 is now following.
We need to get those out there, dude. We need to get those out there.
Back 1969, thanks for the follow. Yeah, I mean, people are always welcome to buy one of those banners if they want. It supports the channel, and it's kind of fun to run around with a Zath Replay Theater banner.
Ghost is
Just
now
that one
following.
looks so sad.
That's all good.
And I think that's my one.
I think it is too. But hey, I don't care. It's. I do this because it's fun, and people seem to enjoy doing it on the side. You know, if people want to buy stuff on it, that's cool. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
sucked you into it.
you did, damn it. But you know, like it's all good. Blackbeard's Ghost, thanks for the follow. All right, let's get back to our Zath chat, and let's talk about next stuff. For the next time, I know you're doing Stream Raiders, and I'm in. All right, sounds good. Hey, Avisi.
This